So, going back to the retail shop, I say, okay, so how am I going to drive people into the store to have a great experience? And there's a lot of things one could do, but these are the ways that we have to think in order to compete with immateriality. If material is going to survive, it needs to get better. It needs to shape a better experience. It needs to become more human. It needs to become more honest. And it needs to be relevant to the time in which we live. That's design. And that's how I think about every project. The minute I put my finger on my iPad to sketch, I try to think about now. In other words, for me, I don't want to live in the past. Do you know there's a saying? Creative people don't see the future. Artists don't see the future. They see the present. Everybody else sees the past. Think about that. Okay, thank you. I am going to take questions. Yes? We're going to do that? Yes. So you're all free to ask me anything you would like to ask. Anything.
Господа, будут ли у вас какие-то вопросы к господину Кариму? Пожалуйста.
Главный редактор портала Rumble.com Оксана Кашенко. У меня такой вопрос. Куда дальше шагнут технологии в интерьере?
Who's going to translate for me?
Yeah, actually. This is Oksana Kakaya. Oksana Oshenko, she's the chief redactor of what? Of Rumble.com, and she's interested to where would technologies in interior lead next?
Where would technology in interiors lead next?
Yeah, the next step.
You know, I don't really want to talk about the future. So I just talk about the present, okay? Okay. Present now is, we have technology for floor, for example, many materials that are soft, acoustic, like a ballet floor. Oh, I have to tell you this. I'm doing a hotel in Amsterdam, and I'm making all the floors ballet floor. The technology used for ballet. Why? Because the ballet floor is a little bit soft, right? But it's also very acoustic, so it absorbs all the sound. It's also, when you put it in sheets and seam the sheets together, you see no seams. So you would never see seams. Perfect, like as if someone poured epoxy. Beautiful. So there's a lot of advantages. And top of that, it's cheaper than putting a wood floor. But what we do is, traditionally, we just put wood floor. We don't even think about it. It's like wood. Oh, wood is so humid and warm, wood. No. Wood is, by the way, wood is not necessarily ecological. The majority of the wood processing in the world today still uses an amazing amount of toxics and chemicals and energy. So anyway, there's lots of materials, tons of wallpaper. There's amazing wallpapers, biodegradable wallpapers that are fantastic. I mean, there's great material. Are you an interior designer? There's great materials. And you know what? I see them all, and I barely see them being used. I have, all the catalogs, all the companies, all the stuff exists, and then when I travel, I never see any of the stuff being used. I see everything traditional, old ideas, carpet, stone, wood.
Hey Karim,
Yes.
I'm Nick.
Hi,
Nick.
Nick.
Hi. Listen, would you please show us and talk a little bit about your tattoos? I think that would be nice. Was it painful, by the way?
Well, I'm sure a lot of people have tattoos here. They're painful to get, yes. But it's momentary pain, and then it's a life of enjoyment. Oh, did you hear the question?
Yes.
I just want to say something about the tattoos. I made a bunch of symbols over the years, 54 symbols. I take one symbol that I think is related to a city. I put it on my body in that city. Understand? So I'm tattooing the world around me.
And there are city-like symbols.
Yes. So I have one actually of Moscow, which is here.
Bim Magazine.
Hi.
Hi. I know that you refused from black color in your design.
I refuse black color in my design? Not true.
Not true.
I use a lot of black. Look, black. I just don't wear black. Well, maybe a stripe. But I don't dress in black. That's all. But I use a lot of black.
Thank you.
Okay.
Уважаемые господа пресса, у нас впереди еще пресс-конференция, поэтому на ваши вопросы Карим ответит на 3-м этаже на стенде Рош Бубуа. Сейчас вопросы от дизайнеров-архитекторов, пожалуйста.
Hello, Karim. Thank you very much for your lecture. Wonderful. A lot of things.
Thank you.
Very
Спасибо.
what we need. My question is, I've got several questions to you.
You're only allowed one. You better pick the best one.
Please. Who is your favorite architect and designer?
Well, it's a strange question, this,
Maybe designer or...
No, you know who my favorite is? Myself. I'm
yourself.
complete narcissist. Understand?
No.
I'm joking. I am a narcissist, though. But let me just say something, though. When I was young, studying, learning, I loved so many people. Corbusier, Mies van der Rohe, Oscar Niemeyer, a big list of people. Even the eclectic people, even the things now I look back were terrible. I liked Michael Graves. Now I look back, I don't think it's great work. But these are people I was learning from. Many. But as I get older and older, I'm less interested in what others do, and I'm very interested in what I do. Why? Because I won't do something original if I keep looking at other people's work. In other words, you get inspired, and at some point you have to let go. Understand?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Hello, Karim.
Yes.
Thank you. Archidom magazine, and one question. What do you think about eco-design, eco-materials, and so on?
Well, it's, when you say eco-design, it sounds like it's a style. But it's not a style. It's being smart and responsible. When I talk about plastic chair made from sugar, that's ecological instead of oil. Yes? When I talk about all these rubber floor, rubber is natural material, not synthetic. So I use a lot of things that are very ecological. Majority of my work is ecological because I was educated as an industrial designer, product designer, and when I was in university, everything we designed and studied had to be ecological. This is back in the late 70s. So it was always part of me. It wasn't, now all of a sudden it's become like a vogue, it's a movement. And just because you don't see brown or dark green, it doesn't mean the work is not ecological. In other words, the eco movement became like a style. It's like fake. Again, it's like the cafe I just mentioned. It's fake. We try to pretend, ecological, and then we just show like a lot of brown wood. Understand? Yeah.